Coming up tonight on YCN News, a bill proposed by New Hampshire Senator Jim Roche could bring money needed to repair New Hampshire roads. Vermont police seek the public's help in locating missing Sunapee, New Hampshire resident Michael Hayward. And Warner, New Hampshire resident and U.S. poet Laureate Maxine Kumin is remembered after passing away this weekend. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Monday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spellman. It's no secret that many of the main and side roads in New Hampshire need repair. A bill proposed by Senator Jim Roche of Derry could bring the money needed to fix these routes. Senator Janet Stiles of Hampton is a co-sponsor of Senate Bill 367. Today, in an interview with New Hampshire Public Radio, Governor Maggie Hassan says she favors the bill that could increase the state's gasoline tax by about 4 cents this year. If the bill makes its way through the legislature, it could be the first gas tax hike since 1991. Now, whenever a motorist fuels a car or truck's tank, 18 cents of the per-gallon price goes to the state. Under the bill, the state's gasoline tax would be linked to the Consumer Price Index. According to the National Bureau of Labor Studies, taxes directly associated with the purchase of specific goods and services are included in the CPI. If this bill is approved, it could mean the state would be able to earmark about $28 million for the Department of Transportation. That's the agency responsible for road upgrades, care, and fixing. The bill is now before the New Hampshire Senate Ways and Means Committee. Per the bill's outline, the gasoline tax rate would be reviewed every 4 years. Hartford, Vermont police seek the public's help in locating a man whose car was found this weekend at the Queechee Gorge. Sunapee, New Hampshire resident Michael Hayward was last seen in the area of Enfield, New Hampshire off Route 4, the Valley News reports. Hartford, Vermont police found Hayward's car. Hayward's wallet and credit cards were found near the gorge, an area noted for its carved-out rock formations. A bridge spans the gorge en route from Queechee to Woodstock, Vermont. Police say no signs of foul play were noted. Anyone with information regarding Hayward's whereabouts is asked to call Hartford, Vermont Police at 802-295-9425. Vermont lawmakers are studying a bill that, if passed, could affect the way future downtown centers are built in a town or city. Vermont House Bill 809 calls for oversight by the state's Agency of Natural Resources and Development. The bill calls for a town or city without a downtown center to be developed in an eco-friendly manner. This means an area with public and private means of transportation, and with housing affordable for multiple income categories. The bill also is for areas that are not greater in size than 125 acres. Democrat Rebecca Ellis of Montpelier-centered Washington County is the bill's sponsor. When YCN News returns, we'll hear about Warner, New Hampshire resident and former U.S. poet Laureate Maxine Kumin, who passed away this weekend, and the Vermont man being charged by state police with possession of stolen property.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spellman. Turning to the New Hampshire legislature, on Friday, New Hampshire representatives presented several House bills relative to the possible expansion of casino gambling. Representative Tom Schamberg told YCN via email that this week the bills will move on to work sessions for the House Ways and Means Committee. Warner, New Hampshire resident and former U.S. poet Laureate Maxine Kumin is being remembered for the grace and insights of her poems. Kumin died at her home this weekend. She was 88. Her legacy as a poet includes winning the Pulitzer Prize in 1973. She won this honor for her fourth book of poems entitled Upcountry. YCN's The Kearsarge magazine's Gail Matthews interviewed Miss Kumin in the fall of 1996. We revisit that session as we remember Miss Kumin and her work.
Hard frost on a line by Hopkins. No need now for the newspaper mulch topped with spoiled hay. It will become by summer one friable creation. Irrelevant now the owl balloons at Four Corners and the spray made from pulverized seeds of the neem, revered shade tree of Asia. The bean plants have fallen to skeletons, the forgotten tomatoes have imploded, and a black melt has seized the squash vines. But all of the root crops linger serene in their cubby holes. Beets, carrots, parsnips, the tapered white cones known as daikon, potatoes still threaded to one another in their labyrinth.
The poem she discussed that day, Hard Frost, on a line by Hopkins. As Concord Monitor columnist Mike Pride reported Saturday, Kumin's work was enabled by the solitude of her and her husband Victor's Warner farm. That pastoral landscape fueled her creative spirit. In all, Kumin wrote 17 books of poems, essays, short stories, novels, and 2 memoirs. To learn more about Kumin's work, go to www.maxinekumin.com. Turning back to Vermont news, a 23-year-old Reigate, Vermont man is being charged by state police with possession of stolen property. Christopher Darling was found in possession of an ATV. State police in the fall received a report from a person at Newbury, Vermont Absolute Power Sports of a stolen motorbike and ATV. Darling is scheduled to be in court on March 26th in Orange County District Court. Police have not named a suspect in the thefts. On a lighter note, congratulations to Catherine Locke as she is named 2014 Newport Winter Carnival Queen on Friday. The Newport Opera House set the stage for the ceremony. 2013 Winter Carnival Queen Kira Bailey places the crown on Locke's head. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with highs in the 20s and a low of -3 degrees, so be sure to bring your hats and scarves. Wednesday will be sunny with a high of 27 and lows in the teens. Thursday will start out the snowy weekend with 4 to 8 inches of snow. Highs will be in the 30s with a low of 21 degrees. Friday temperatures will rise to a high of 37 and lows in the upper teens. Saturday will have highs in the upper 20s with a low of 9 degrees. If you're a fan of fiddler tunes, head over to the Godnick Adult Center in Rutland, Vermont for a fiddle jam this Wednesday starting at 7:15 p.m. And now let's look at the YCN Game of the Week. This will premiere on Comcast Channel 20 and 712 on Wednesday. Last Friday, Fall Mountain traveled to Mascoma in an NHIAA Division III matchup. Number 14 Kyla Reeder got Mascoma off to a quick start with this pretty up and under move. With the score 14-11 and the clock ticking down in the first quarter, Fall Mountain's Josie Holt grabs this shot by Morgan Furland and hits a buzzer beater to put the Mountaineers up by 5 points after 1 quarter. During the first half, Fall Mountain's Morgan Furnall took the game over with her inside presence. The junior led all scorers with 24 points on the night. With time winding down in the second quarter, Fall Mountain once again scores at the buzzer as Furland hits this long jumper to give Fall Mountain a 33-23 lead at halftime. In the second half, behind the shooting of Amanda Gurin, Mascoma pulled to within 5 points of Fall Mountain. But this basket and foul shot by Furland pushed the lead back to 9 points with only 4.5 minutes left in the game and left this young Mascoma fan very sad. Fall Mountain went on to win 54-42 to improve to 12-1 on the season. Fall Mountain's next game is at Hillsborough Deering on Tuesday. Mascoma drops to 8-7 and will travel to Kearsarge on Friday. And now let's bring you the standings on the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. The United States is 4th place overall with 2 out of 5 medals being gold. Netherlands are in the lead with 3 golds. Canada is in second with 2, and Norway is in third with 2. Andover ski jumper Nicholas Farrell ranked 50 in the qualifying round. He was unable to compete as a result of this. Hanover's Hannah Kearney took home the bronze in moguls. Kearney was distraught over her finish. She was ranked in first place during the qualifying round. Bodie Miller came in 8th place in men's downhill skiing.